right, today's Tuesday, April 7th. It's 7:06. We're going to start the East Lyme Inland Wetlands Agency meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have no additions to the agenda tonight. So public delegations, there's no one in the room. So we're just going to move on to public hearings. The application of the Town of East Lyme Inland Wetlands Agency for a comprehensive revision of the East Lyme Inland Wetlands Regulations, sections 1 through 20. We still have the public hearing open. The most recent revision we just received. I'm not sure, were there any changes made, or you just incorporated from last time?
I incorporated the changes we discussed in the last meeting, and which I think they were done at the last meeting.
Yeah. Yep.
So the only other change I made here was on the very front, this was the very front page on the dates. I just filled them in, assuming May 1st was the nearest month, and well after the 15-day appeal period on the decision.
Mm-hmm.
Or I was thinking July 1, but I was thinking, well, if you're really liking the regulations, sooner than later,
Why not?
Yeah.
I think May 1st gives everybody a good 30 days or so to make April 7th, so it's not too far off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we've discussed these at length, and I think they look good. Help your job and the town and the residents,
We'll see.
hopefully.
But I think they worked well in the other communities that they were modeled after.
Did you ever get any feedback from any of the towns you sent them to, or the state or anybody? No?
Expect I would get a response.
Yeah, I'm just
It's
curious.
still regulating what is not changing.
Yeah, right.
Well, I would have liked to have gotten some feedback on what they thought of the upland review area. And,
How did you do it? Can we do it too?
Yeah.
that's how it works.
Yep.
So I think all we need to do here is,
All right.
if there's a consensus that you're satisfied, you don't want to put revisions, close the public hearing, and then you can vote on them or deliberate, continue the public hearing if you want. But once you close it, you have, again, an indefinite amount of time to deliberate.
Well, I propose that we close the public hearing and proceed forward on this opportunity.
Sounds like a motion.
Yep, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Everybody? Okay. So that being said, we had very little input from the community, so I don't think there's any disagreement with these. I think we're probably ready to move forward and,
I move that we accept the new modified Town of East Lyme, Connecticut Inland Wetlands and Watercourses regulations, effective May 1st.
do I hear
I
a second?
second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Well, wow, great job.
Yay!
It's been years.
We don't have to talk about this anymore.
Yes, literal years that this has been in the works, so.
So I'll get the hard copies of the members who aren't here, and we'll bring that with you.
Thanks, Gary.
Right. Great work, everybody, on that.
Can you put that up on the town website too?
Yes, this document will be there, and
Perfect.
All right. So next, moving on then, would be the acceptance of the meeting minutes from March 3rd, 2026. Is there a motion?
A motion to accept the meeting minutes of March 3rd, 2026.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstain?
I'm going to
Yep.
abstain because I was not here.
Yep. Yeah, the minutes looked good, actually. So then moving along, it's on to the ex officio report. Anne?
Ann Chichello, ex officio from the Board of Selectmen. Good evening. First, I was going to just say, because you don't have the secretary here, maybe you should just say out loud who is making the motion and seconding it, so it makes it easier for
Oh,
the
yeah, good call.
secretary. Okay.
So I'm-
Oh, you are? Okay,
Okay.
good, because sometimes it's hard to
Okay.
tell,
Yeah,
even when I'm
true,
sitting
true.
there. Okay, so my report. First, on the Board of Selectmen, we had one of our members, Cindy Collins, resigned her seat, and at the last meeting, we appointed Tony Atanasio, who will be sitting at our next meeting next Wednesday. The Board of Selectmen, we finished our part of the budget. It went to the Board of Finance. They are in deliberations, or they finished last night. But there's also, this is important for the public, April 23rd, there's a Board of Finance public hearing at 5:30 at the East Lyme Community Center. And they're having one at the community center to try to get the people, the senior citizens and other people in the community to come out and give their opinion to the Board of Finance on the proposed taxes and budget. Also, there will be another Board of Finance public hearing on April 27th at 5:30, and that will be at the East Lyme High School auditorium. The annual town meeting will be at 7 p.m. at the East Lyme High School auditorium, and the referendum is scheduled for May 21st, 2026, and that would probably be all day. In zoning, I don't know if people have been driving by Parker's Place, but the developer has been doing a lot of work over there, and right now, the zoning official, Bill Mahalan, has been talking with the town attorney to determine next steps on that and what they want to do.
I do believe he's been able to move forward.
But it's nothing's been done yet, so,
Correct.
yeah, so that's, well,
It's in progress.
it's in progress, exactly, so,
That being said, there were no, based on my plan review, there were no wetlands within 300 feet of the site. So it's right now, came before the commission, they were able to document that, so
yeah,
that's why it's not here, but
yeah.
it was denied at zoning.
It was denied at zoning, and he's doing a lot of work on his property, and so that's what's
Oh.
in discussion. I-95, Department of Transportation, the construction going forward, it's basically going to be completed in November, this coming November, the whole project, so that's, fingers crossed.
Between
It's
that
moving
and-
along really well, and, I think, I go through that a lot, because I live over by the golf course, and it really hasn't impacted traffic that badly overall. I think it's, hasn't really been bad at all. So I
Yeah.
think they're doing a wonderful job. Additionally, there is a talk that if anybody on this board would be interested, it's called Groundwater Sustainability. It's this coming Saturday, April 11th at 2 p.m. at the East Lyme Public Library. Excuse me. It's going to be a Dr. Gary Robbins is speaking, and he is a UConn geology and hydrology professor emeritus, and he'll be talking about the groundwater sustainability. So that's all I have tonight. Does anybody have any questions?
Were there any issues that were discussed about the parking of the school buses that
Okay.
we talked about last time?
Yeah, so what's going to happen is this. There are different groups in town, like we'll call them stakeholders, because there's issues with the school buses, and then there's issues also with maintenance equipment and storage of maintenance equipment, because a lot of equipment is aging a lot faster because it's left outside to the elements. So like Park and Rec, they need a building, Public Works needs a building, So what we're trying to do, what I was trying to organize is a meeting between all the different stakeholders. So, you know, you'd get like Joe Bergaw, Bill Mahalan, you know, Gary, the people from education, yeah, Chris Lund, all together in a room so they can kind of brainstorm. I want them to kind of look at all the property that East Lyme owns in East Lyme and see if they can figure out something. And with that, besides looking at the property, they're also going to be talking about the school buses. Because these issues, like, you know, they keep approaching the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance with different ideas, but it's just for theirs. And we need something like a more comprehensive plan. So that's what's kind of, we're trying to get through the budget. Once that's done, hopefully, you know, I guess we are in April already, we will get that together and have basically a working group of the different people in town to the town employees and the stakeholders. So that's kind of what we're doing with that.
At one point when we were discussing things, it was brought up about that, like where the commuter lot is right now, on your way to get onto 95, like that's gonna be moved
To the other
to
side.
the other side. And then we had said, like, what are they gonna do with that land? Is that something they could gift to the town? Was that anything ever looked into?
So, yeah, I did follow up on that. And basically, that's state land, and
And they were
People-
like, it's our land.
that's, that was kind of the response that I spoke to different people in
Yeah,
East Lyme, and they're like, that is going to be the response. They're not. So,
okay.
yeah, but
You
that's
tried.
why we're trying to
Yeah.
get everybody in a room so they can talk together and, you know, try to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, because we
So-
all need a solution.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just piecemeal, and it really needs to be a comprehensive plan,
Yeah.
you know, so.
So Andy, did you say the town meeting was on April 27th?
Yes, so there's one April 23rd, the Board of Finance public hearing at 5:30 at the East Lyme Community Center. And then there's another one April 27th at 5:30 at the East Lyme High School auditorium.
Mm-hmm. And then at 7 PM that night is a town meeting?
Oh, no, that's May 11th, there's an annual town meeting
Oh.
at 7 PM at the East Lyme High School auditorium. And then the referendum was it will be May 21st, 2026.
Yep.
Anything else? You're all confused.
April 23rd, 5:30 at East Lyme High School.
No, that's.
No, that's a community center.
Oh, that's-
Community center. They're trying to, you know, have something where they cater to, you know,
More
the,
accessible.
more accessible for the senior citizens, yeah. Because, you know, we always hear from the parents of the school children and such, and we really need to hear from the other groups in town. So that's why they're doing that, to try to, you know, make it more accessible for them.
So just for kicks,
Yes,
apparently the proposal for the roof over the swimming pool at the high school came in under budget, and so they're gonna go forward with that? That's my understanding.
I don't know.
Should start in a week or two.
There's a huge
Oh, really?
crane there.
Yeah.
Is that why the crane is at the high school? There's a ginormous crane there
I
right
think-
now.
Yeah, I think they closed the gym there. That I got
Well,
too
the
many.
pool's open through this week. And
Okay.
then I think that's probably it. It's done.
Okay,
It won't be done until December, 10 months.
Oh, wow.
okay, yeah. Well, yeah, they need to do something with that, you know, yeah. Yeah. So, anything else? Nope, okay, great.
Thanks, Ann.
Thanks.
All right, so we have no new business. Pending applications. The first one, is that Patagonia Lake Association, State of Connecticut owner application to perform hydro raking at and/or around Lake Patagonia. Did they withdraw that one?
So, yeah, that's in your package, a letter from the association withdrawing it, as they cannot satisfy everything they need yet to authorize the work, so I recommended they withdraw that and come back, reapply, and request a payment of fees, knowing that this was, hold up this ownership. that, you're going to look at the applications hereby withdrawn. That's all there is.
Okay. So next would be the application for the construction of a single-family dwelling and appurtenances associated with a one-lot re-subdivision of land at 46 Brainerd Road, Niantic, tax assessor's map number 7.4, lot number 20.
Hey there. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
So yeah, Carrie, I don't know if you got my email last minute, but that was my, yeah, sorry about that, I misspelled his last name. But it was an email from Danielle Holmes, the sanitarian.
I'm sorry, can you identify yourself?
Yeah, pardon me, John Paul Avarca. I'm a resident of Old Lyme, but I'm the applicant for my aunt and my cousin Pam.
Okey-doke.
So yeah, I sent Gary an email. Basically Danielle approving our application. She's saying that she would approve the B100 for the existing home, the new proposed subdivision, and that we would be good there.
Okay. And that, you just sent to Gary that information?
Yes.
I can't.
I did print one copy if you guys want that one copy.
The plans looked acceptable to her. She had to generate a formal approval letter. She did alter the code compliant area from what was proposed on the plan, so the lines fall with the contours, but no extra steps that the applicant is worried about. She'll be issuing 3 different approvals, B100A, 46, recommendation suitability for the proposed subdivision, and 3, the plan review approval for the site design. All in all, we'll be doing that. That's just more for your edification. The plan in front of you. I think as of the last meeting, I think the only thing we had to wait for was the 15-day.
Yeah, right. Mhm.
Anybody had any significant concerns?
Nope.
Yeah, there's plenty of land there, looks fine.
Lots of land, but not really buildable land.
Understood. Is it, so do we need to file a motion of some sort, or are we just,
Yeah, you would be either approving or denying.
I move that we approve the application as presented.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's everybody.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Good
Appreciate
luck.
it. Thank you.
Happy building. Wow, guys, this is gonna be a quick meeting. All right, no old business. I don't have anything for my chairman's report. Gary, do you have anything?
The last minute on this. I haven't got a chance, this was just sent to me this afternoon.
Good night.
Finance director.
It is not, no.
This is what I wanted to really show you here. So on the 331 meeting of the Board of Finance, if you look down under inland wetlands here where my cursor's at, we had a GIS planner, and it reduced that down to, not reduced, but by $5,000. So it's not terrible, but I think basically it's going to eliminate any possibility for the assistant.
Did we have a grant or something that was paying for it? You can absorb?
We can look into something like that. I think that.
Yeah, I thought we had.
There is money in the account to outsource work that needs to be done from that perspective. Or we could, again, continue to look for an intern that's something to be aware of. Meetings and conferences, they reduced by 500, but it was only proposed at 500, so essentially it's been zeroed, as was the transportation allowance. Again, natural resources was hit, $200, and planning, the transportation allowance and professional conferences and conventions. So essentially, there'd be zero training dollars in next year's budget for either planning or wetlands, let alone any transportation for me to get reimbursed on fuel. That being said.
Wait, so you don't get reimbursed as
I can
wearing
submit-
two hats?
I currently have in this year's fiscal year, we have money in the budget, where every year I ask for transportation allowance. That covers my own personal vehicle, using it for work. The issue is the lack of vehicles out in the parking lot, and particularly in the sense that they're all being utilized by other departments, particularly at high volume times of year. We're gonna be building a sidewalk. We got 2 roads under construction as we speak. So, granted, one has a little more going on than the other, but nonetheless, engineering is going to be busy. They're going to utilize all of that. What I didn't realize is that my colleague, we did ask, I thought it was cut out of the capital plan, but I was told that there was actually a vehicle already in the fleet that is going to be designated for planning and zoning. So that solves some of that transportation allowance issue, potentially. I do plan to attend the meeting tomorrow night and advocate for some of this to, get back. I think that's, if they'll restore any of it. And knowing that there's a vehicle out there to use now, I guess that's, we can go down that road, but the transportation allowance may not be as necessary, but certainly if you're traveling to any conferences and conventions, but, there won't be any money but that. We're gonna travel. So at least I'm going to try to advocate to get some of that money back. I think it's really, the budget's small to begin with. So I suspect I'll get some folks up on the finance who are willing to support some of this. But I just thought you all needed to be aware. If you really, you're more than welcome to attend and advocate for the budget.
More shrinkage.
Are we getting reassessed this year?
If you're going to get reassessed this year. So I have made the issues, at least in terms of workload and need for help in our office, to the first selectman, so he's aware of the need for help based on the workload and what's going on. But again, the budget is what limits our ability to kind of address some of that. So.
Don't most towns have like an inland wetlands agent and a separate person who's planning?
Usually. Yeah, most towns will have a separate wetland agent, a zoning officer, a planner, and an assistant planner. Sometimes an environmental planner and a building official, and typically 2 assistants. A town of our size, I mean, Waterford is that was basically their setup. They've since shrunk because they've had employees leave, and I don't think they've replaced necessarily all the employees. So maybe reorganized a little bit, but that's been the typical government setup. I don't know if that'll ever return, as we get into the age of AI, who knows how far this will go. But as things stand now, we're kind of limited even using AI. We can use AI that comes with our software account with Microsoft, so that's Copilot, and the basic ChatGPT, but the town's not spending money on subscription for AI. So I'm not sure if that makes any difference whatsoever, but other than how many questions you can ask before they you can reach your limit. But I think there's probably a play there where we can use AI to help streamline some of the things that we do if the financial resources aren't there. I don't think we're alone. I think everybody's talking about facing this.
Yeah.
On top of inflation,
Mm-hmm.
plus the government cuts from the Fed, right? The state assistance has dropped. And it's just,
Right.
so.
So we still need to build a nuclear power plant and all our problems be over, right?
We're just begun.
Got this somewhere.
Define over.
There you go.
So that's all I have to kind of brief you on now. I just want to see where we're going on the budget. Aside from the notices variances, again, I think now that the regs are behind us, I'm gonna pursue 9 Rocco. Aggressively and try to really get a conversation with him about revegetating and just planting a couple of trees at a minimum. And I got a new complaint about shooting of firearms into an indoor wetlands on property located between 33 and 37 Upper Walnut Hill Road.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I know years back, this was the property, I don't know if Don might have been on the commission. They were four-wheeling in the back field of this parcel down a large slope, and they, I guess, went to jump a ponded area of wetland that kind of stuck out into the field that they clearly had to move the field around because it was that way. Anyway, it became a pit that they had to pull a Jeep Cherokee out with a tow truck, stuck in the mud like that.
Okay.
Anyway, the wetland agency went forward with the cease and desist and working with, ironically at the time, Eversource. They have an entire environmental division and deep pockets, so they were able to secure an easement with the landowner in lieu of the work. So Eversource did the work, the landowner granted Eversource the easement, so they no longer had to traverse the wetland with their machinery to get to their pole. They could just go down the easement, cross an existing driveway they basically constructed. So it all worked out. But this is the same property. The landowner, his name, was previously on the property when that violation occurred. So they're aware of the wetland regulations.
Well, aren't there must be other rules too against just shooting firearms on your property.
But you can shoot firearms, maybe they have a 30-acre piece. So I don't think it's really the where they're shooting or again, they have to abide by all laws.
They're shooting.
Relates to firearms, but this complaint, as it relates to inland wetlands, that I'm only kind of remotely familiar with because the Sportsman's Club had a large lawsuit,
Yep.
$2 million cost them because of they were firing into a hillside adjacent to a wetland, and they were fined basically for lead contamination, and so they had to remediate that. And, I think that's what this is getting at, is that their neighbor is firing into the wetlands. What about the lead? Now, it's my understanding that, again, I can't police the camo. Maybe that's why the government wants to go down the road of registering, because they want to be environmentally friendly. But I highly doubt that. But if they wanted to, bullets these days aren't made with lead.
Right.
So they use steels. But again, I can't regulate whether or not you have lead in your arsenal. If you have old ammunition, you try to fire it, that's on you. So I'm not sure exactly how to approach this one, but I want you to know I received a complaint this month. I will respond to the neighbor who filed it. I'm not really sure exactly how I would. I'll have to talk to maybe the town attorney, figure out how I would even justify walking on the property. Because I don't know that that's necessarily a violation. Again, I can't. Maybe Deep can help me with this.
This is where AI would come in handy. I've never, seen there's anything.
Look at the Sportsman's Club file.
Yeah.
Done there. How did the town handle that one? Because obviously we had to start somewhere. Most likely with the local wetlands. So I'll be looking into that. So that's an interesting.
Okay.
Sure they don't like it.
The other thing I wanted to mention is I also got a notice of timber harvest for 98 Crossing Hill Road. Matt Derby is the forest practitioner. And it's a light thinning of unproductive trees, habitat improvement. I received this on March 9th, so I need to reach back out to him and request that he submit a plan so that we can review it, at least determine if there are any regulated activities associated with the clearing.
Right.
Thinning typically doesn't involve stumping, but again, you got some slash, you're dealing with it.
Are there
there's
river
water
crossings?
Crossings and all that good stuff, so I haven't heard, so again, I'm gonna reach out to him and let him know that he should submit a plan to us, an application for a determination.
Okay.
Yep.
Does anyone else
Oh,
have any?
one more thing. In your package, you should also have an email from the Eaglons regarding their property on North Rybrook Road. They sold the property and want to transfer the permit that we just issued to Julio Cesar Diaz Soza of Norwich. So per our regulations, it is required to notify us that the permit being transferred. So I'll regenerate the permit with owner's names. Or at least-
Oh, this was the one that was like, there was already an existing driveway.
Yeah, we went back and,
Yeah, yeah, okay,
It was a redo, kind of a
Yeah.
reapplication,
Yeah.
and redelineate the wetlands.
right, okay.
have we heard any more about the bridge that they're gonna put in on, the creek? What's the creek? Up across
Oh.
from the, golf course.
Yeah,
Colony?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Colony, I think.
That's, yeah, right
I
by,
haven't heard anything on that as of yet. It's supposed to be going forward.
it's,
far as I know.
I mean, they've started.
They started?
Oh, yeah, they've cleared a whole bunch of trees and that they had marked out where the silt fence is supposed to go. I was just walked there today and I'm a little confused. I want to I know I feel like we had seen the plans before, but
Yeah.
they have the silt fence stakes where it's supposed to go way onto people's yards and they cut down a lot of trees on people's yards that I'm surprised at how far out it went. Are they
The new
are they
bridge is-
making it bigger?
Yeah, it's much bigger than the old bridge.
Okay, because I couldn't remember and I was surprised
Well, I did.
when I walked there.
I know I talked to Alex about it. And I'm like, wow, they're gonna come back here? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like
it was a lot.
a
but
quarter of somebody's driveway
I don't
is
know if it.
cut off.
We'll find out if it's really necessary.
Well, I think the thought was, the existing had the two 12-foot corrugated pipes, and what they wanted to do was make a big enough span that the creek bed was basically natural underneath it. Yeah, it was continuation from up to lower, so there's no culvert, there's no, restricting the creek at all.
So that spans.
So that span's gonna be much bigger, yeah.
It's big compared to what's there. So, I mean, they were there, there was trucks, they were there working a lot today.
I'll take a look at it tomorrow if I can. Swing by there.
I think the road is gonna be, the road is still open, but it's gonna close,
It'll
I think,
close,
in a week or two, is what my friend told me, so. Yeah.
and I saw they put caution tape up across from the rustic to do that parking lot
Yeah.
there. I guess that'll probably be happening soon. It's like they're getting ready.
Probably this spring.
Yeah.
If they do that.
Be good.
I can check with Alex and get one.
It's just
I'm not sure.
saw some motion on it.
The plan of attack was there, because you got, again, like I said, the sidewalk starting, should start, or as it should. Between that and parking lot, and to Farm Meadow Road, and Valley, still need to get finished. We'll have inspections with those. All right. We're good.
Yeah, everybody good? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
All right.
All right, thank you.